This is an Osprey, a Tiltrotor aircraft. It is currently the only aircraft in the world that fully utilizes this technology. It's also the fastest vertical takeoff aircraft in existence, famed for switching seamlessly between vertical lift and fixed-wing flight modes. It's known as the Transformer among aircraft, but it's also infamous for frequently crashing hard. Crashes that have killed dozens of us soldiers are known worldwide. So what exactly is the allure of the Osprey? An aircraft whose early prototypes had a 40 crash rate, with 2 out of the first 5 crashing during development? Why was it pushed into production against all odds? Is it really as unsafe as its reputation suggests? Welcome to Chris Military Base. Today, we'll take a closer look at America's fun ride aircraft. Just what kind of machine is this really? To understand the Osprey, we have to go back to the origins of its development. November 4th, 1979, around 3,000 armed students stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. They took 66 American personnel hostage. After negotiations failed repeatedly, the U.S. military launched a rescue mission under the codename Operation Eagle Claw. The operation was so complex that even a brief overview is enough to raise eyebrows. 8 RH-53C Stallion helicopters, carrying Marines, took off from the USS Nimitz in the Persian Gulf. But due to range limitations, they first had to rendezvous in the Iranian desert, southeast of Tehran. There they would meet 6 pre-positioned C-130s, loaded with fuel and supplies. After refueling, they would head to Tehran to rescue the hostages. Under AC-130 air support, they'd proceed to a stadium pickup point, call in helicopters, and fly to a captured airfield, where C-141s would extract the entire team. It sounded more like a Call of Duty mission in someone's backyard. And as expected, it went terribly wrong. First, the 8 helicopters hit a sandstorm after taking off. One returned due to a malfunction. Another arrived at the staging area, but also failed and had to be scrapped. 2 others got lost in the sandstorm. When they finally regrouped, one helicopter had severe hydraulic issues and was grounded. Before the mission even began, 3 helicopters were already lost. 5 remaining choppers couldn't carry everyone. The mission had to be aborted. President Carter himself approved the cancellation. But the worst was yet to come. It was discovered that one of the 5 remaining helicopters didn't have enough fuel to return, so it had to refuel. It lifted off toward a nearby C-130. But the rotor wash kicked up a massive dust cloud, blinding the pilot. Disoriented, the helicopter crashed directly into a fully fueled C-130. It erupted into a fireball. ADA's troops died instantly. Commander Vought saw the disaster and thought, "Forget rescuing the hostages. We just lost 4 choppers and 8 men." He ordered an immediate retreat. Forget the helicopters. Everyone board the C-130s and evacuate. They left behind 4 C Stallion helicopters, a gift for the Iranians. They lost 4 helicopters and 8 men before the mission even began. Who would dare stay after that? Time to get the hell out. Forget the helicopters. Everyone quickly boarded the C-130s and retreated, leaving behind 4 C Stallions as a gift to the Iranians for the surprise visit. The Iranians? Naturally, they added those 4 helicopters to their military. They were incorporated into their forces. 3 of them still serve in the Iranian Navy as minesweeping helicopters. After the mission's failure, the U.S. military realized they needed a brand new aircraft, one with the range and payload of a C-130, but also capable of vertical takeoff from aircraft carriers. In 1981, the Joint Service Vertical Takeoff and Landing Program launched. It aimed to provide the military with transport vehicles that met these new demands. The U.S. Army started the project, followed by the Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps. Major aerospace companies entered the bidding war. In the end, Bell Helicopter, well-versed in Tiltrotor tech, teamed up with Boeing and easily won the contract. Based on the 15-15, the development progressed quickly. In May 1988, the V-22 Osprey officially rolled out. It made its public debut. However, the project soon faced a series of setbacks. In 1991, a prototype crashed due to pilot error, hitting the ground and catching fire. Fortunately, the two pilots only suffered minor injuries. In 1992, during a public demonstration, the Osprey's right engine failed, causing the aircraft to crash in front of Marines, DoD officials, and spectators. It plunged into the Potomac River. All 7 on board were killed. The Osprey was grounded for 11 months. The darkest year was 2000. In April, one Osprey entered a vortex ring state and crashed during landing. In December, a software failure caused another Osprey to crash into a forest. These 2 accidents claimed the lives of 23 Marines. The Osprey was grounded again. The entire program hung by a thread, facing immense criticism. And yet, Congress pushed forward in full support against all opposition. After years of adjustments and evaluations, the Osprey finally entered service on November 16, 2006. Even in service, the Osprey kept its legacy alive, crashing about once every 2 years on average. This left many questioning its safety all over again. As early as a 2011 statistical report showed, the V-22 Osprey's safety rate had risen to become one of the safest military aircraft in the U.S. Most of its systems are double or even triple redundant for safety. Its incident rate per flight hour is only about half the average rate across all U.S. Marine Corps aircraft. As of 2022, the Osprey had logged over 800,000 flight hours. Its accident rate is lower than that of conventional helicopters, falling between that of the CH-47 and CH-53. In fact, back in 2013, the Osprey was inducted into the U.S. presidential fleet, proving its reliability. Currently, over 500 Ospreys are in service across all U.S. forces. Outside of the U.S., Japan's Ground Self-Defense Force operates 17 Ospreys, deployed aboard Izuma-class helicopter destroyers. The V-22 Osprey is 175 meters long, with a wingspan including rotors of 258 meters. The fuselage resembles a light military transport aircraft, with a rear ramp and twin-tail fins. The lower section features a large fairing, housing fuel tanks, equipment, and the main landing gear. The V-22 is a high-wing aircraft with short-span straight wings, equipped with large flaperons on both sides, serving as both ailerons and flaps. About 43% of its airframe is made of composite materials, giving it an empty weight of around 144 tons. Its maximum vertical takeoff weight is 238 tons. In short takeoff and landing stall mode, the nacelles tilt forward 45 degrees, generating both lift and thrust. In this mode, the maximum takeoff weight increases to 275 tons. Since the V-22 was designed for space-limited naval vessels, compact size is critical. Conventional rotor folding isn't enough. The wings are still too wide. Thus, wing folding is also required. The wings rotate to align along the fuselage, reducing overall span to about 56 meters. The folding process is simple, taking about 90 seconds. The V-22 Osprey typically has a crew of 3 to 4, 2 pilots, a flight engineer, and an additional crew member, e.g., a weapons operator. The Osprey's cabin is spacious, capable of carrying 32 personnel. or 24 fully armed Marines. It can carry up to 9 tons of cargo internally, or 57 tons externally via sling load. The Osprey's powertrain is sophisticated, but complex as well. It uses 2 large turboshaft engines, housed together with gearboxes and rotors. Inside, tilting nacelles, mounted on top of the wings. These nacelles can rotate from 0 degrees to 975 degrees, typically set at 45 degrees during takeoff to increase payload capacity. The design is extremely agile. The nacelles can rotate 90 degrees in 12 seconds to mitigate engine-out scenarios. A drive shaft in the wing connects both engines, ensuring power synchronization. This allows the Osprey to remain airborne, even with a single engine failure. However, with both engines out, the aircraft becomes a glider. But due to its massive rotors, they're likely to strike the ground during a forced landing, making glide landings extremely risky. The Osprey is powered by 2 Rolls-Royce T406 turboshaft engines, which are exceptionally powerful, producing 5,890 horsepower each in cruise mode. The Osprey is powered by 2 Rolls-Royce T406 turboshaft engines. These engines are incredibly powerful. In cruise mode, each delivers 5,890 horsepower. At takeoff, they can generate up to 6,150 horsepower. Even a mighty CH-53 Super Stallion, known for its brute force, only produces 4,380 horsepower. Such immense power is necessary due to the Osprey's complex structure and its large central wing assembly, which consumes substantial lift energy during vertical takeoff. To compensate, the engines must generate more thrust. Power is essential for lift. Reportedly, in future upgrade programs, Rolls-Royce plans to push output to 8,000 or even 10,000 horsepower. The Osprey is capable of aerial refueling, but thanks to its high speed and altitude performance, it can also serve as a tanker, with the F-35 be deployed on amphibious assault ships. Combat effectiveness increased significantly, but also introduced the challenge of in-flight refueling. Traditional tankers cannot operate from amphibious ships. Using the Osprey as a tanker is an ideal solution, while not yet deployed at scale. This concept is already technically mature. In the early years, there were frequent crashes caused by pilot error. As a result, pilot selection for the Osprey is extremely strict. Candidates must be experienced in both helicopter and fixed-wing flight. They must also undergo specialized tiltrotor training. The Osprey delivers performance the military has long dreamed of. Its top speed reaches 510 km/h, solving the speed limitation of conventional helicopters. It also features a more fuel-efficient flight mode, which greatly increases range. Under normal payload, it has a range of up to 1,600 kilometers, several times that of a conventional helicopter. This doesn't even include aerial refueling. This graphic from the Iraq War compares the combat radius of the V-22 and CH-46E. The Osprey's strategic value is immediately apparent. Its maximum flight ceiling is 7,220 meters, approaching the performance of jet aircraft. Had the V-22 been available during Operation Eagle Claw, range and sandstorms would not have been critical issues. All in all, as the first Tiltrotor aircraft to enter large-scale service, the Osprey represents a historic breakthrough. Despite many existing issues, its operational cost remains high. Each unit costs up to $74 million. Each flight hour costs approximately $12,000. Fortunately, there's significant room for improvement. The third-generation Tiltrotor, the V-280, has already emerged. It is intended to replace the US Army's large Black Hawk fleet. As Tiltrotor technology matures, it will gradually replace more traditional helicopters. In the future, we may well see an armed version of the Osprey. Alright then, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.